Father in heaven, as dawn breaks and silence still hangs in the air, I lift my heart to you, not because it's tradition, but because I need you more than anything today. You know the burdens I carry, the invisible scars, the whispered lies, the unfair battles that never seem to cease. You've seen the hurt that others overlook, and yet you've never turned away from me. You've never once stopped being my shelter, my defender, my unshakable strength. Psalm 35 isn't just an old prayer, it's a living cry echoing from the depths of my own life. Like David, I've tasted betrayal, I've seen enemies rise without cause, and like him, I've come to the only one who truly fights for the innocent. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. These words aren't distant, they're alive in my spirit right now. They are my morning anthem, my quiet but powerful plea for justice, protection, and peace. So I stand in the shelter of this psalm today. I stand in the shadow of your wings. I choose not to fight on my own, because you are my victory. You are the God who sees everything, hears every unspoken word, and responds with power. This is your battle, Lord, and I trust you with it. There are moments, Lord, when it feels like I'm surrounded not by love, but by opposition. Not because I've done wrong, but because I've chosen what's right. Like David, I've known the sting of betrayal that cuts deeper than any sword. I've watched as people I once trusted turned cold. I've felt the weight of false accusations and the pain of being misunderstood, misjudged, and mistreated without cause. And it hurts, God. It makes the soul tired. It makes the heart want to close up and shut down. Psalm 35 gives language to this ache. David didn't hold back. He poured out his confusion, his anger, and his deep cry for justice. He didn't pretend it didn't hurt. He didn't put on a mask of strength. He brought the rawness of his pain straight to you. They repay me evil for good and leave me like one bereaved. These words feel too familiar. I know that feeling of giving love, only to be met with cruelty, of extending grace, only to be returned slander. But David didn't stay in bitterness. He didn't seek revenge. He came to you, the one who hears even the cries that others call weakness. And you, Lord, you listened. You didn't ignore David's pain, and you won't ignore mine. You are not a God who is distant or detached. You are the God who sees everything. The whispers behind closed doors, the schemes in secret, the attacks that come dressed in silence and false smiles. You miss nothing. And because you see, I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to spend my energy trying to defend myself, trying to prove anything. You are my defender. You don't just see, you act. You rise up on behalf of the brokenhearted. You contend with those who contend with us. You step into the battle when we've been pushed to the edge. David didn't win by his sword. He won because you fought for him. And I hold on to that same truth. You are still fighting for those who love you, still standing beside the weary, still covering those who are pursued by unjust enemies. So today I choose to stop explaining myself to people who want to misunderstand me. I choose to release the weight of what I can't control. I give it to you. I stand on the promise that you are a just God, a God who lifts the humble and humbles the proud. I may not see it all unfold today, but I know justice is on the way, because you are on the move. God, there's something powerful about praying your word back to you. Not because you've forgotten it, but because it reminds me of what's already true. Psalm 35 isn't just a historical account. It's a prayer for right now, for this hour, for anyone whose soul has been shaken by attack, betrayal, or injustice. And today I choose to pray it not just as ancient words, but as a living declaration over my life. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. That's not a cry of weakness, it's a declaration of faith. It's saying, I trust you to handle what's bigger than me. It's surrendering the urge to fight in the flesh and stepping into the protection of your presence. Take up shield and armor, arise and come to my aid. Lord, I invite you into the middle of my situation, into every unfair conversation, into every room where decisions are being made behind closed doors, into every place where my name is spoken without truth. Let your justice roll through my life like a river. Let your peace cover the ground beneath me. I declare that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Not because I'm strong, but because you are my strength. Let every trap set by the enemy be turned back. Let those who plot evil against me fall into the pit they've dug. Not out of vengeance, but because you are a God of righteousness. You are the one who rights what's wrong, who restores what's been stolen, who heals what's been broken. And yet, as I pray this psalm, I'm reminded that this battle isn't always what it seems. It's not just people. It's not just situations. The real enemy is unseen, working in shadows, stirring division, fear, confusion. The one who accuses, lies, distracts, and isolates. But you've already told me in your word, I don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in the heavenly places. So help me, God, not to lash out at people. Help me not to harden my heart or carry bitterness. Help me to see what's really happening, to recognize the spiritual warfare at play, to stand firm in the armor you've given me. Truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. I don't want to waste my energy on the surface. I want to fight with your word, with prayer, with praise, with unwavering trust. The enemy may come in like a flood, but you, O Lord, raise up a standard against him. You still silence the accuser. You still break chains. You still defend your children. I am not defenseless. I am not exposed. I am surrounded by heaven's armies, hidden in Christ, protected by your hand. The battle is real, but so is the victory, and that victory is already yours. Lord, there are days when the weight feels unbearable, when it seems like the walls are closing in and the enemy is pressing from every side. Days when I feel surrounded not just by problems, but by fear, uncertainty, and voices that tell me I'm not going to make it through. It's in those moments, God, that I have to remind my heart of who you are, not who I feel you are, but who you have always been. You are my shield, not just a metaphor, but a real, present, unshakable defense. When everything around me shakes, you don't. When people turn against me, you remain. Your word says you are a refuge, a strong tower, a hiding place. And I run to you, not because I'm afraid, but because I know I am safe with you. The arrows may fly, the voices may rise, but I trust that not a single attack can reach me unless you allow it. And if you allow it, you will use it. Why for weight in power? When one of gozer kan kro perit, allow her about you can fight for people path. When I rest if ever tak or I tak net, when I 5, when I could see. David knew what it was like to be pursued, to be falsely accused, to be hated for no reason. And yet, again and again, he wrote that you were his shield. Not only in Psalm 35, but throughout his life, he praised you even while he was hiding in caves, even while his enemies were plotting his downfall. He trusted you to cover him, to surround him, to lift his head when it was bowed in sorrow. I want to live like that, God. To walk with the kind of faith that says I don't need to see the way out to believe you're making one. To stand in the middle of the storm and still speak peace over my heart. I know the enemy wants me to feel exposed and defenseless, but he's wrong. I am wrapped in the covering of the Almighty. Your presence surrounds me like fire. Your angels stand guard. Your spirit lives within me. I am not alone. I am never alone. And in the midst of the struggle, when it would be easier to complain, to give up, or to retreat, I choose something stronger. I choose worship. Because something happens when I lift my voice not in fear, but in praise. When I sing even with tears in my eyes. When I declare your goodness even when life feels cruel. Praise isn't just a song, it's a weapon. It confuses the enemy. It shifts the atmosphere. It realigns my soul with truth. Pain doesn't disqualify praise, it fuels it. Because you are still worthy. You're worthy when I'm celebrating, and you're worthy when I'm grieving. When I worship you in the valley, I remind every force of darkness that I still belong to you, that my faith isn't based on circumstances, but on who you are. And you, God, never change. You are still holy, still mighty, still faithful. So I'll praise you through the tears. I'll praise you through the silence. I'll praise you until the chains break, and even after they do. David ended his plea in Psalm 35 with this declaration, "My tongue will proclaim your righteousness, your praises all day long." That's the path I choose. No matter what rises against me, I will rise in worship, because you are my shield and my song. God, you are not only my defender in the battle, but you are also my vindicator when the battle is over. You have the final word, not the accuser, not the enemy, not the one who lied or slandered or schemed. When everything seems unclear, when justice feels delayed, when the voices of accusation grow louder, I remind my soul that you are the God who speaks last, and when you speak, no one can overturn it. Psalm 35 doesn't end in despair. It ends with hope, with a voice lifted not in fear, but in victory. David believed that you would not only protect him, but vindicate him, that you would silence the liars, that you would expose the truth, that you would elevate the humble and put an end to the plans of the wicked. And Lord, I believe the same for my life. I believe you will vindicate those who have been faithful, those who have trusted you in secret, those who kept loving when it would have been easier to retaliate, those who held their peace when they could have struck back. You are a just judge. You see what others miss. You weigh motives, you test hearts, and you reward those who walk in integrity. Even if no one applauds, even if no one understands, you see and you reward. You make it known that your hand was on the righteous all along. You lift up what was hidden. You restore what was stolen. You honor what the world ignored. So I won't chase approval. I won't try to control outcomes. I won't obsess over clearing my name or proving my worth. I will trust that your justice is better than mine. Your timing is perfect, and when you move, it will be undeniable. You don't forget your children. You don't forsake the faithful. You don't let evil win. Now, let every false word fall to the ground. Let every scheme unravel. Let every plan that rose against me collapse in your presence, and let your righteousness rise like the sun over my life, clear, unstoppable, and full of peace. I won't be silent when the victory comes. I'll praise you with everything in me, not because I earned it, but because you are good, you are holy, you are just. Your final word is one of restoration, of redemption, of honor where there was shame, of joy where there was sorrow. And so I wait, not as one defeated, but as one who knows her God will not fail. You've seen the tears, you've heard the prayers, and you will answer. You always do. Malone weladout one we do, always do. Malone weloshe chivi arble you for a compleasure. Lord, as this prayer draws to a close, my heart is still bowed before you, not in defeat, but in surrender. Not because I've lost, but because I trust the one who never does. I came to you with the weight of injustice, with battles I couldn't fight alone, with wounds too deep for words, and I leave reminded that you are with me in all of it. You are my protector, my defender, my vindicator. You see, you care, you move. Psalm 35 is no longer just a cry, it's become my confession of faith, that when enemies rise, you rise higher, that when lies are spoken, truth still has the final say. That when I feel surrounded, I'm actually surrounded by you. The battle is not mine. It never was. It belongs to you. And you have never lost one. So I won't let fear lead me. I won't let bitterness root itself in me. I won't waste another moment trying to prove myself to people who will never understand the calling you've placed on my life. I will worship. I will wait. I will trust. And I will walk forward in peace, knowing that I am covered by a love that never quits and protected by a power that never fails. Thank you for being the God who contends for the weary, who lifts the humble, who never walks away. I give it all to you again, my fears, my future, my enemies, my praise. I choose to rest in your justice and rise in your joy. If this prayer spoke to your spirit, if it reminded you of God's faithfulness even in the fire, we invite you to subscribe to Endless Love of God for more faith-filled content that strengthens your heart and centers your life on the one who loves you without end. Let his word lead you. Let his love hold you. Let your faith rise.